in the past 2 weeks, with hospitals turning away patients after running out of oxygen and beds. Joining us now, Dr. Devraj Rao, who's a public health researcher at Ajmer Hospital in India, and Dr. Moga Kamalyani, a policy advisor to the People's Vaccine Alliance. And Dr. Yani, I hope you don't mind, we will just be dwelling for a moment or two with Dr. Rao to establish the situation at the moment. Dr. Rao, I mean, from your perspective, where you are and more broadly across India, just how bad is it getting?
Hello.
Dr. Rao, can you hear me at all?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I'm just wondering if you can explain exactly how the situation is in the area that you are in, and just more generally in India. Just how bad is it getting? We're hearing stories of people being turned away in their droves from hospitals.
So actually, we are going through a deep crisis here in India. Not only in the city I'm staying, it is the things are getting worse day by day throughout the India. In some specific part of India, the condition of this condition is worsening due to the surge in the cases and due to the second wave of the corona. We are having difficulty in arranging the beds, in giving the medicines, and in terms of the uninterrupted supply of the oxygen.
Why has it been allowed to get so bad, Dr. Rao? There must have been some signal that infection rates were rising. We, of course, know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi did say that you had won the war against COVID-19. Clearly, that has not happened. But the situation where you're running out of oxygen, where you're running out of beds, that can't have come as a complete surprise.
Yes, sir. A few months back, we were having around 9,000 to 10,000 COVID-19 cases per day. But now the situation is like that. We are having 348,000 cases per day. So this current scenario is due to the rapid surge in the number of the cases due to second wave of corona. India prepared for it, but I think we are lagging, or we are, to be precise, we are catching up in our preparedness, and hopefully we will be able to make the things normal in near future.
When then, Dr. Rao, can you, given your role as a public health researcher, when do you anticipate the situation being brought under control, either with external help, the likes of which Britain, France, the United States are providing?
Yes, sir. External help is more than welcome, and I am hoping that this is, I don't know that this is the peak or not, but I am hoping this is the peak. Otherwise, the things will be, very bad. But our government is doing its best. They are arranging the oxygen from the different part of India where we are having shortage. The medicines are made available in the hospitals where it is running out of the stocks, and the different state governments are also doing their best to arrange the hospital beds in government hospital as well as in private hospital also.
Let's bring in Dr. Moga Kamalyani. Doctor, you work with the People's Vaccine Alliance. You've already heard, I'm sure, of the assistance, such that it is, that the British, the Americans and others are providing. What role do you see for a country like the United Kingdom as we move through this pandemic, as vaccinations continue here in the industrialised West? What role for the United Kingdom in assisting parts of the world perhaps less developed?
Well, first, I'm so pleased that the UK is helping with the medical supply, especially with oxygen, which is obviously important. What we're not helping is vaccines. To be honest, the situation of inadequate vaccine supplies was expected from last year. You wanted to vaccinate the whole world, and therefore you needed as many doses as possible. But the companies were not allowed to do that. Companies in developing countries were not allowed to produce more vaccines, and they're still not allowed. There's still rich countries having secured millions of doses for people here. They're still happy or content anyway to keep vital decisions about the production and the allocation, where do you send the vaccines, and at what price. These vital decisions are still in the hands of pharmaceutical companies. We must maximize, the UK must play a leadership role in helping to maximize the production of doses, so we don't see this situation in India or in other countries. And that's possible. We've got a number of mechanisms. There is a pooling system that the WHO, the World Health Organization, set up, the COVID-19 Technology Access Pool, which meant to be for pooling technologies and intellectual property and licensing to potential producers. The UK is not supporting this. They're not pushing or influencing pharmaceutical companies to put their technology in this pool. On the other hand, India and South Africa put a proposal to the World Trade Organization to suspend or waive intellectual property relevant to COVID for the duration of the pandemic. The UK is strongly opposing that. We must stop that. We must stop opposing this, and we must influence pharmaceutical companies to join the pool. Meanwhile, we shouldn't take vaccines from India.
Indeed, but Dr. Kamalyani, just specifically on that point, I mean, we've long heard of the ability of India to mass produce drugs, to mass produce vaccines. Why has it gone so badly wrong this time?
Well, it's not so badly wrong. What we have from India, we have one deal with AstraZeneca. It's with one company. It's a secret commercial deal. What we're talking about in terms of pooling is allowing other companies in India and outside to produce the vaccines. But that's, the UK and rich countries are not allowing that. Meantime, in the middle of all that, the US is stopped exporting if you like, the raw material or the products that are needed for the Indian company to produce the vaccine. So you're tying the country from all sorts of directions. And in the middle, we have 10 million doses from India to the UK. I mean, that is just, it doesn't make any sense, really.
It doesn't, I'm sure that Dr. Rao would agree with you on that point. But a final word from you, Dr. Rao. We spoke a minute ago about when we think that India might start to get to grips with the situation. How far, though, away is India from the peak of infections or reinfections?
This COVID-19 pandemic is the biggest humanitarian crisis of our time. So, if we are together, we are able to fight it, and I'm sure we will be able to fight and win this war against COVID-19. And the help from the global community will be welcome. And India is going to start the vaccination for its age group of 18 to 44 from the 1st of the next month, and which is around 590 million people will be vaccinated in this age group. So that much of the vaccines, if it is not, I think we will be getting a major part of this from the other countries. So hopefully we will be able to vaccinate our people, and we will fight with this crisis very well.
I would wish you all the best in that fight. Dr. Devraj Rao, Dr. Mohit Kamalyani, thank you both very much for joining us on the programme.
Thank you.
Well, the pandemic